Stop me if this sounds familiar. You're running your heart out in midfield, covering every blade of grass, making pass after pass, yet somehow you feel invisible. The forwards get the glory, the defenders get the respect, but you're just there, existing, moving, but not controlling. And here's the uncomfortable truth most coaches won't tell you. 90% of midfielders are just passengers in their own games. They react instead of dictate. They survive instead of dominate. But what separates someone like Luka Modric at 38 years old from a player half his age with twice his athleticism? It's not stamina. It's not even skill in the traditional sense. It's something far more dangerous, far more powerful. And by the end of this video, you're going to possess it too, because I'm about to show you 3 principles that will transform you from a midfielder who plays the game into a midfielder who owns it. And fair warning, once you see these, you can't unsee them. Every match you watch will suddenly make sense in a way it never did before. Let's start with the first principle, and I'm calling it the magnet theory. Now, here's what makes this counterintuitive. Most players think the key to midfield dominance is being everywhere at once, chasing the ball like it's a lottery ticket. But that's exactly backwards. The magnet theory states that elite midfielders don't chase the game. They pull it toward them through strategic positioning that makes them unavoidable. Think about Sergio Busquets in his prime at Barcelona. The man looked like he was moving in slow motion, almost bored, yet every single attack flowed through him like water through a funnel. Why? Because he understood something fundamental about space and gravity in football. He positioned himself in zones where the ball had to come to him eventually, not because he was fast, but because he made himself geometrically inevitable. Watch any match, and you'll see average midfielders sprinting around trying to get involved, burning energy, getting bypassed. Then watch Busquets, and you'll notice he takes 3 steps while everyone else takes 30, yet he touches the ball more than anyone. That's the magnet effect. So why does this work on a deeper level? Because football is a game of angles and passing lanes, not just athleticism. When you position yourself between the opponent's defensive and midfield lines, in that pocket of space where passing becomes almost mathematical, you create what's called a pressure vacuum. Your teammates have no choice but to find you because you're the safest, most logical option. The opponent can't press you effectively because you're always between their lines, never directly in front of a single marker. You become the answer to every question your team asks on the pitch. Think of it this way: a bad midfielder runs to where the ball is. A good midfielder runs to where the ball is going, but an elite midfielder stands where the ball must go. And here's your takeaway for this: don't chase the game, make the game chase you. Write that down. Tattoo it on your brain, because once you start seeing the pitch through magnetic positioning, you'll realize you've been working twice as hard for half the influence your entire career. Now, the second principle builds on the first, and this one's going to feel almost illegal once you master it. I call it the phantom touch. And no, this isn't about fancy flicks or showboating. This is about something far more manipulative. The phantom touch is the art of receiving the ball with your body shape already oriented toward your next action, making your first touch and your decision appear simultaneous when in reality you decided 3 seconds earlier. Picture Andres Iniesta receiving the ball under pressure. Before the pass even reaches him, his hips are open, his head is up, and his body is angled in a way that gives him 3 passing options instantaneously. The defender thinks they have time to close him down, but by the time the ball touches his foot, it's already gone, played into space they didn't even know existed. The defender wasn't beaten by speed or strength, they were beaten by time itself, because Iniesta collapsed the decision-making process into a single motion that looked effortless but was actually premeditated genius. Here's the science behind why this destroys opponents. The human brain needs roughly half a second to process new information and react to it. When you receive the ball with a neutral body position, you're giving defenders that half second to read your intentions, close you down, and cut off angles. But when you use the phantom touch, when your body shape is preloaded with your next move before the ball even arrives, you eliminate their processing time. They're always reacting to something that's already happened. You're playing in the future while they're stuck in the present. And this isn't talent you're born with. This is pattern recognition you can train. It starts with scanning, constantly checking your shoulders before the ball comes, building a mental map of where everyone is positioned. Then it's about receiving across your body instead of into your body, opening your hips to face the direction you want to play, not the direction the ball is coming from. Kevin De Bruyne is a masterclass in this. Watch how rarely he takes more than 2 touches, not because he's rushed, but because his first touch is basically a pass to himself that's already pointed at his target. The ball never stops moving because his mind never stops processing. So here's your mantra for this principle: decide before you receive, execute as you touch. That split-second advantage is the difference between being pressed and being untouchable. Now, the third principle is where everything comes together, and honestly, this is the one that separates professionals from everyone else. I'm calling it controlled chaos navigation. Sounds intense, right? That's because it is. Here's the paradox. Midfield is the most chaotic area of the pitch. Bodies everywhere, space collapsing constantly, pressure from all angles, yet the best midfielders make it look like they're playing in slow motion with acres of space. How? Because they've learned how to navigate chaos by creating micro pockets of control through body feints and subtle movements that manipulate opponent positioning without even touching the ball. Watch N'Golo Kante when he doesn't have the ball. His movement isn't random, it's purposeful deception. He'll fake pressure on one passing lane, which forces the opponent to turn their hips and protect that lane, which opens up a different lane for his teammate to exploit. Or he'll make a movement toward the ball carrier that draws their attention and then immediately drop off, creating the passing lane he wanted all along. He's not just defending or positioning, he's conducting the chaos like an orchestra, making opponents dance to his rhythm without them even realizing they're being led. And here's what's beautiful about this. You don't need to be the most technical player to master this. You need awareness, you need vision, and you need the confidence to move with purpose even when you're not getting the ball. Think about it. How many times have you stood still, ball watching, waiting for something to happen? That's passive football. Controlled chaos navigation is active football even without possession. You're always creating, always influencing, always making the opponent uncomfortable. So let me tie this together for you, because here's where the real magic happens. The magnet theory teaches you where to be. The phantom touch teaches you how to operate once you're there. And controlled chaos navigation teaches you how to manipulate the space and opponents around you when you don't have the ball. These aren't separate skills, they're layers of the same masterpiece. Modric doesn't just do one of these things, he does all 3 simultaneously every second he's on the pitch. That's why at 38 he's still running games against players a decade younger. He's not faster, he's smarter. He's not stronger, he's more efficient. And efficiency in midfield is dominance. But here's the mindset shift I need you to understand, the philosophy that underpins everything. Midfield is not about individual moments of brilliance, it's about sustained influence over 90 minutes. It's about being the player your team can't function without. Not because you score or because you make spectacular tackles, but because you make everything flow. You're the oil in the machine, the current in the circuit. Without you, everything grinds to a halt. And that's a different kind of power, a different kind of respect. It means letting go of ego, letting go of the need for highlight reels, and embracing the fact that your greatness lives in the subtle, the intelligent, the invisible work that only other midfielders truly appreciate. You become valuable not by doing more, but by doing better. Not by being everywhere, but by being essential. So here's what I want you to do. Take these 3 principles into your next training session, your next match, and start applying them consciously. Before every game, remind yourself, don't chase, attract. Decide before you receive. Navigate the chaos, don't survive it. Film yourself if you can. Watch the patterns. See how your positioning changes outcomes, how your body shape creates time, how your movements open space. And if you want to go deeper, I put together a complete breakdown guide with drills, visual diagrams, and match analysis examples that you can download completely free. The link's in the description. We've also got a Discord community full of players just like you who are obsessed with getting better, sharing clips, analyzing games together, pushing each other. This isn't just about watching videos, it's about becoming part of something bigger, a movement of midfielders who refuse to be invisible anymore. So get in there, apply this, and watch what happens. Because I promise you, once you start playing like this, you won't just feel different on the pitch, you'll be different. And everyone watching will know it too.